Hello, here's the news at this hour on Tstv. I am Mobola Badekale. Here are some major headlines. Oyo receives 46 complaints on police brutality, says Makinde. FCT Lagos, other artisans set to receive 30,000 naira grant, says Presidency. Algeria's leader hospitalized days to crucial referendum, and in the world of sports, Barcelona president Bartomeu resigns. And now the news in details. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde said no fewer than 46 people have lodged complaints barely 9 days after opening a platform for people across the state to report incidents of police violation and brutality. He said the complaints would serve as materials for the Judiciary Panel of Inquiry to be set up latest by next week to work with. However, Makinde spoke on Tuesday during a meeting with representatives of EndSARS protesters, artisans, commercial cabs, and motorcyclists operators in the state. The meeting held at the House of Chiefs, Oyo State Secretariat Agodi, Ibadan, was a follow-up to an earlier meeting held on Monday with traditional rulers, council bosses, security heads, community leaders, religious leaders, among others. The governor, who said the police would return to the state to maintain law and order, added that he had approved the immediate recruitment of 1,500 personnel for the Amotekun Security Corps. He added that 351 political wards of the state would have Amotekun personnel, noting that these personnel would work hand in hand with the police, but they would be accountable and responsible to him. The Agro Ranger team of Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Oyo State Command, says it has dislodged some herders from the Aruro Kole along Igbo-Oloyin in Akinyele local government area of the state, following a distress call from members of the community. The NSCDC commandant in the state, Iskilu Akinsoya, said this in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, on Tuesday that one of the herders, identified as Babangida Musa, 21 years old, was arrested on Sunday, adding that the herders were seen grazing no fewer than 400 cows within the community. He said investigations show that the leader of the group of herders, simply identified as Yunusa, 28, and Saidu, 27, came from Ogbomoso. However, the chairman Aruru Kole Community Igbo-Oloyin, Mr. Kole Tijani, urged Governor Seyi Makinde to provide patrol vehicles and other logistics to improve the response time of the NSCDC team at the grassroots level. The presidency on Tuesday said the payment of 30,000 naira one-time grant to 330,000 artisans across the country under the Economic Sustainability Plan has commenced. The Senior Special Assistant to Vice President on Media and Publicity, Laolu Akonde, disclosed this in a statement titled Payment of 30,000 naira grants to 330,000 artisans under ESP begins. Akonde said the payments were being made to sets of verified beneficiaries of the Artisan Support Scheme, a track under the MSME Survival Fund. In the statement by the President, it states in the first stream of payment that started yesterday, Tuesday, beneficiaries are being drawn from the FCT, Lagos, Ondo, Kaduna, Borno, Kano, Bauchi, Anambra, Abia, Rivers, Plateau, and Delta states, noting that they formed the first batch of applicants for the scheme submitted between October 1st and October 10th. Meanwhile, the President asked his Deputy Vice President Yemi Osinbajo-San to head the committee which produced and is overseeing the implementation of the plan. The federal government has declared Thursday as a public holiday to mark this year's Eid el-Maulud ceremony in commemoration of the birth of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. The Minister of Interior, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, who made the declaration on behalf of the government, congratulated the Muslim faithful, both home and abroad, for witnessing this year's occasion. This was contained in a statement on Tuesday by the spokesman, Ministry of Interior, Mohammed Manga. Aregbesola enjoined Nigerians, particularly Muslims, to abhor violence, lawlessness, wantonness, and robbery as witnessed across the country, most recently stressing that Nigeria is the pride of the black race and should provide responsible leadership for the greatness and development of the African continent and all black people. The news on Tstv will be back after this. Welcome back, and after some foreign stories, the president of Algeria, Abdelmadjid Tebboune, has been admitted to a military hospital in the capital just days before the country is due to vote in an important constitutional referendum. Mr. Tebboune went into 5 days of voluntary self-isolation at the advice of his doctors after many of his aides and government figures tested positive for the coronavirus. Mr. Tebboune's office said that he was in a stable condition in a specialist unit and that he was continuing to do his work. Algerians will be voting in Sunday's referendum on an amendment to the constitution that limits presidential terms and gives more powers to the parliament and judiciary. Polls have been opened in Tanzania's general election following nationwide reports of restricted internet access, plus the arrest of an opposition leader in the semi-autonomous island of Zanzibar. President John Magufuli, whose Chama cha Mapinduzi CCM party has ruled Tanzania since independence in 1961, is seeking a second term in office. His main challenger, Tundu Lissu of the biggest opposition party Chadema, who survived an assassination attempt 3 years ago, returned from Belgium in July, where he had undergone rounds of treatment for gunshot wounds. However, long queues were seen formed at polling stations across Tanzania in a sixth multi-party general election early today. More than 29 million people are registered to vote, while they will be electing the country's president and parliamentary representatives. The final results are expected to be announced within 1 week. And now moving on to the exciting world of sports, Barcelona's president Josep Maria Bartomeu has resigned, with the entire board also stepping down from the post. Bartomeu's decision came after several months of criticism in the wake of Barcelona's 8-2 Champions League elimination to Bayern Munich, as well as Lionel Messi's shocking request to leave the club shortly after. Although the club was able to keep hold of Messi, with the long-time Barca star staying to avoid having to take the club to court. Bartomeu's position has been under scrutiny for weeks. The president has been due to officially end his tenure next year, with elections called for March, but the club's members called for a vote of no confidence in an effort to get Bartomeu out immediately. A total of 20,687 votes are gathered for the motions against Bartomeu, passing the threshold of 16,250 signatures required for the vote to go ahead. The Athletic Integrity Unit (ARU) on Tuesday said World 100 meters champion Christian Coleman will miss next year's Tokyo Olympics after being banned for 2 years for breaching whereabouts rules. Coleman, who narrowly escaped the ban last year for missing 3 doping tests, was provisionally suspended by the ARU in June. The American sprinter claimed at the time of his provisional suspension that anti-doping officials had not followed the procedures when he missed them. However, doping control officers testified before a disciplinary tribunal that they were present during the whole of the allotted hour of 7:15 p.m. to 8:15 p.m. on December 9th in front of his house, while Coleman in turn testified he had arrived home from Christmas shopping shortly before the end of the 1-hour period. Meanwhile, the ARU said Coleman's ban will end on May 13, 2022, and that he could appeal the tribunal's decision to the Court of Arbitration for Sports, CAS. And with that, we come to the end of the news. Here is a recap of the major headlines. Oyo received 46 complaints in police brutality, says Makinde. FCT Lagos, other artisans sad to receive 30,000 grant, says Presidency. Algeria's leader hospitalized days to crucial referendum, and in the world of sports, you heard Barcelona President Bartomeu resigns. Please do not forget to always adhere to COVID-19 safety measures. The news is compiled by Hope Chijoke. I am Mobola Badekale. Good day and thank you for watching.